Okay, so we'll slowly get started. First of all, welcome to the masterclass number 40. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Andrei Strepkov. I work as a market development representative here at Iguide. So basically what I do, I am helping our photographers and overall educating agents on what about Iguide, the difference between Iguide and Matterport, the importance of the measurements of the floor plans. So basically, it's a brand new position and a brand new thing which we started doing just recently and focusing much more on educating agents and help you get more clients. And so last week, and we started a series of webinars on Sales 101, how to sell Iguide, how to promote your photography business. And last time we've been talking about your unique selling proposition, and we've been covering how to conduct the research, how to find those agents. So today's topic is the email campaign. So how to set up email campaign, how to write the emails, what is important, where to look for when you are creating an email. And just before we start, and before I repeat my last mistake, just wanted to confirm with you, if you don't mind letting me know, can you see my screen right now? And if you can hear me well. So what I will do, I will show the next slide. Can you see these slides? If you don't mind letting me know in the chat or something. Perfect. Thank you very much. That's great. Yeah. That's great. So we don't go through it. Just it doesn't happen again to me. Perfect. So first of all, when it comes to the email campaign, we'll kind of go straight to the topic. So when it comes to the email campaigns, before you do anything, and by the way, in this masterclass today, I will also share email templates, which you can use, just tweak them a little bit and basically use for your own business. That will be at the end of the masterclass. But before you start an email campaign, before you start reaching out to anybody, making calls, before you start anything, first of all, you need to define the goal, what you are trying to achieve with this email campaign. And there are lots of potential goals. Like it might sound like, okay, it's too obvious, but there are really lots of things you might want to achieve with the email campaign. So you can work on the brand awareness. You can be just having newsletters for updates, for promotions. Sometimes you want to sell right in the email. Well, in our case, what I suggest, and what probably will be more relevant for real estate photographers, your goal should be to set up a phone call with the agent to talk about their needs, find out what they're looking for, find out what they have to offer right now to their clients. What is their specialty? Because some of the agents are specialized more or mostly on commercial real estate. Some of them are specialized on luxury properties. They have different markets. Even in the same city, they might have different markets, different neighborhoods they are working in. So your goal with the email campaign is to get the agent on the phone, or maybe on a video call, or maybe when with the coronavirus crisis stops, maybe you can meet with them in person. That's your number one goal with this email campaign. And when it comes to these email campaigns, there are many approaches. You can find a lot of stuff on the internet, how to create those campaigns, what to include, what not to include, what works, what doesn't work. And here I think we should bring up a little bit of ancient Greek philosophy. Everything flows, everything changes, as Heraclitus said. So basically what it means is it's very relevant for email marketing. So what works for me might not necessarily work for you. What worked for you last year might not work this year. So these things change all the time, and it's pretty it really depends on the person who reads the email. So there are lots of nuances here, lots of changes happening, and lots of new trends of the email marketing happening every year. So it's very important to keep experimenting with these email campaigns, and see what actually works and see what doesn't work. So you can see here that typical email consists of 5 main parts. It's subject line, opening sentence, opening paragraph, pitch, call to action, and signature. So we're going to cover all of these except for signature, I guess. Maybe we'll cover it next time at some point. But so what I mean by experimentation is just by changing a subject line, and we will get to this soon, you will get totally different results. And changing opening sentence will make all the difference as well. So let's get straight to the subject line. So there are a couple of things when it comes to the subject lines. Subject lines are very important because that's the first thing the real estate agent would see in your email. If they don't like the subject line, if it's not attractive enough, they will never open your email and will never read about what you have to offer. So number one thing to be aware of is that subject line determines the opening rate. So you can keep track of open rates, how many agents actually opened your email. And let me actually share with you some statistics here. So there was a research conducted by HubSpot showing different open rates in different industries. And you can see that overall open rates are not that great for any industry. But funny thing is that for real estate, that's our industry, the open rates are the highest and the lowest are for electronics industry. So that's not bad. That means 26% of emails you send are being opened, hopefully read. And there are a couple of rules when it comes to those subject lines. So first of all, you want to keep them simple and short. You don't want to write too much in those subject lines because nobody will read it, and it looks like it might look more like a spam. So here are actually 3 ideas for you which you can use for your email campaigns, and I tested myself some of them and they work pretty well. So for example, this one, your King Street listing. Like for example, it can be your sample street listing, whatever. So what I like about this subject line is that it's attention grabbing. So whenever the agent opens it, he doesn't exactly know what it is. He knows that it's something related to him personally, to his project he has, to his listing. It attracts agent to open the email. Another subject line you can use, so you can just put their company name, ABC company. So it potentially might work very well, and I tried it a few times, and I see higher open rates for these types of subject lines. Another option is introducing ABC company, and you can put their the agent name. So for example, ABC company being your company, for example, introducing John Smith's photography, and the agent name. So right after, so the next piece of the email is the opening sentence, opening paragraph. So like I said, subject line determines how many clients will open your email, but opening sentence, opening paragraph will determine if they will read your pitch, if they will even be reading who you are and what you have to offer. So that's why it's very important as well. That's pretty much the next step. And here are a few examples for you. So basically, The reason and the importance of the opening sentence is that here you explain who you are and why you are writing to them. Where did you find them? So here are a few examples. You can say, my name is John Smith, and let's say here I can say, my name is Andrei Strepkov, and I'm with Iguide. We work with organizations like Remax, Royal LePage, and here you can include a small, like a little bit of your pitch, like to boost their listings, increase sales, boost the marketing efforts and stuff like that. So here you can include your just a little bit of your pitch. Second example of the opening sentence is, I just came across your listings, and you can include the listing address, for example, and really liked what the property looks like, and you can say something relatable. For example, and I'll show you the example later. So for example, you can say that, let's say you lived in this area before, and you know it pretty well, or something like that. So something more relatable. It makes it more personalized and increases your chances to get a reply from this email. Third example is, I came across your profile on, so for example, it can be realtor.com. It kind of refers back to what we were talking about last week. So I came across your profile on LinkedIn, on realtor.com, zillow.com, realtor.ca, and I was impressed with the amount of positive reviews and things people have to say about your work. So the key here is to be genuine and do a little bit of research, and it will drastically increase your chances to get, so that people will get back to you eventually. And here there are a couple approaches to these types of emails. So you will see that some of the people, let's say working in sales, would suggest that, okay, you know what, like yeah, there should be some personalization, but you need to send as many of those emails as possible. It's a numbers game. But on the other hand, there are lots of salespeople or businesses which think that, okay, we will actually spend some extra time to personalize each email. Yes, we will send less of those, but they will be much more personalized and much more unique, and we will get quality out of it. So if you want to get quality, then I would suggest you should do a little bit more research and make the emails a little bit more personable. The next part of it is pitch. So here is you basically, in this part of the email, you're basically explaining your services. You explain what you have to offer, what problems will you have, or will you help them solve by your services. And when it comes to pitch, I would suggest you should cut straight to the chase. So they don't have too much time to read a long explanation of all your services, of everything you have to offer. And you shouldn't talk too much about what, I guess, features you have. So you're not talking about, okay, you know, I have this type of camera, like, or I have this type of lens or something like that. So in this pitch, you need to explain them what they will get out of this email. So because out of your services, because it's all about them at the end of the day. Otherwise, they wouldn't open the email at all. So at this point, they will not be reading too much. Even if you're talking about what you can do for them, they're not going to spend too much time reading about it. It should be nice, short, and sweet, straight to the point. And also in this pitch portion, you can a little bit expand on who you are. How long has your company been in business? So what you do right now, like what you have to offer. That's something you can include in this part of the email. Actually, when I was preparing for this masterclass, and I was looking for some examples from different industry leaders, and I came across one interesting example. So this is a little bit different industry. This is a content creation industry, and I came across this email here. I'd like to show you. So here is somebody in freelance market for content creation, writer, just basically sent an email to somebody. So he just wanted to get hired for a project. So you can see here how he did it. Hey Ryan, I'm Daniel and somehow came across your website. I really love your approach. Everything is laid out so simply on your site. Seems like you're enjoying some incredible success. More powers to you. I've been looking to start the side hustle doing content marketing to supplement the income from my full-time gig. Do you have a need for any extra writers to help on a freelance basis? If so, I'll send you over my portfolio. If not, well, keep on crushing it. I am following your stuff and taking notes. Keep up the good work. So it's nice and sweet and very. You can see that the person here, he knows who he writes to, and it's very much customized to the person who is reading it. Um, so overall, emails like this will they look real. They don't look like spam. There is everything is nicely done. So you can see here a nice opener explaining who the person is and how he came across the person he's writing to. So he explains that somehow I came across your website. I really love your approach. Everything is laid out so simply on your site. So it's great opener here. And overall, everything looks nice, except there is another piece of email which is kind of represented here, but could be done in a little bit different way. And this piece is call to action. So call to action is basically the part of email where you specifically say what exactly you want. Like why did you reach out? And it should be very clear. There should be no it should be just one thing which you're looking for from this email from this person. Um, in our case, I would suggest that we shouldn't ask for too much at this stage. When the person just opened their very first email from you, they don't know who you are. You're not asking for a sale. You're not asking for a lot of stuff. You're just basically asking for a call. That would be your call to action. And there are different ways how you can incorporate this call to action. So, for example, you can say something like, you can, let's say, ask a question: when would you like to schedule a call? Or you can send a calendar link. Like, for example, if you have an option to, if you have a subscription to some sort of calendar services and something like calendly.com, for example, you can include the link to your calendar and basically give an option to schedule a time with you right at the email, right from the email, without even writing back. So it should be as simple as possible, as short as possible, and as clear as possible. And of course, the last piece of the email is signature, which should be pretty standard. Of course, there are lots of ways to be creative about signature. Maybe we will cover it in the future webinars at some point. But there is something else I wanted to share with you. So when it comes to the sales and when it comes to making cold calls, sending emails, reaching out via social media, it's all about follow-ups. That's really how you make sales, and that's how really you get clients. So there is lots of statistics about it. So on average, so there are different stats, different research is done. On average, it takes from 5 to 12 reach outs and follow-ups before you actually make a sale. So that means you send an email, you send a second email, you give them a call, you send another email, you give them another call, you leave a voicemail, you send a text, you reach out on LinkedIn, and only, let's say, on average, 5 to 12. So that means it might be, if it's, let's say, on average 12, it might be 15 follow-ups, it might be 20 follow-ups. So that's how you really make things happen here with the sales. And of course, you're using different channels. So you're, like I mentioned, phone calls, emails, text messages, and social media. So all of it we will be covering in this series. And so what I would like to do right now, actually, I'd like to share with you and show you show you some samples of the emails I do, and to give you some better idea what it looks like. So we're using sales automation tools to make the process easier for us. But there are lots of ways. Like I said, you can do it manually. Like, there are lots of tools to do it for free as well. I think that even with Gmail, you might have a template option, so you can save templates. But take a look at this one. So this is a sample email campaign I created just to show you an example, like what they look like. So look at these ones. So these are percentage rates for each. So first of all, you can see there are 4 emails here, 4 follow-up emails. And you can see how many sent, and you can see open rates. So it's all, that's basically referring back to our subject line. So it really depends on the subject line you have. Now, let me show you another sample campaign which I created, which is more relevant for us, and that's the one I will be sharing with you. So right now you can see there are 4 emails in this email campaign, and over time, in this platform, we will be adding more steps, more follow-ups. Like, for example, we will be talking about cold calls next week, or in the next masterclass in this series. So I will be adding these different follow-ups in this campaign over time. So overall, we will have 7 to 8 touches, so-called touches, follow-ups. As of right now, we have four emails. So take a look at this one. So that's the very first one you send, or I suggest you can send. So here you have example of a subject line. So your 11 sample street listing, first name. So in this case, what it allows me to do with this sales automation tool, I can just include the first name. Like it's called a variable. I can create a variable for first name, and whenever I send it to a new person, the program will automatically include the first name of a different. Basically, it will include the first names of different people if I just use this variable instead of writing each one's first name separately, each person's first name separately. So you can see here that I start with the opener. I noticed that you have listed 11 sample street for sale, and I really like this property. I myself was growing up in the, let's say, this neighborhood, this area, and know it very well. I just wanted to reach out and see if you considered making your listing even stronger by adding 3D tours and floor plans to it. We at ABC Company have the exact tools home buyers want when searching online for properties to buy, lease, or rent. See the graph below from the National Association of Realtors 2020 report. That's a familiar report here, which you've seen before. Let me know if you have a minute to chat about the ways we can make you and your listing brand more visible. And here you have so here I have a link to a calendar, which is pretty easy 2-minute thing to schedule a call. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks, Andre. So then basically what I have in a couple of days, if I don't hear back, I would send a second email right under the same subject line. Then I would send a third email under the same subject line. And another thing which we do, and it works, which I do actually, which works very well. So I would send a fourth email. Let's say I didn't hear back from them. Let's say I sent all this email. I made a few calls. I still didn't hear back. I reached out on social media, nothing. So in this case, I would send a so-called breakup email. And you can see here, subject, seems like our timing is off, first name. So in this email, basically, I will say that, so you can see here that you can just choose, okay, between 2 options, and you can say, you can just type number 1, and it will be the answer is no thanks, or timing isn't right, we can close the loop for now. Or you can type 2 in reply, you are still open to consider a quick 15-minute call. Let's schedule to mutually convenient time. So this email kind of stops the whole campaign. And the funny thing is that these types of emails, breakup emails, work very well. If I didn't hear back from any of the follow-ups before, there is high chance that I will hear from a person, from a lead after this email. So it works very well. I suggest you to use it. So you will have this template emailed over to you. We will share it with you. And yeah, so that's basically what I wanted to share with you today. Thank you very much for listening, and let's move into questions and conversation overall. So let me see what we have here. What do you think about adding, Ken Reese is asking, what do you think about adding a link to an iGuide? So depends. Well, that's good idea. You just need to make sure that you send the link to, let's say, iGuide on your website. So, because in this case, if you include a link to, let's say, our website, why would you do it? Like you can just use, let's say, you can embed iGuide on your website with portfolio or something, and or maybe you can create the whole page on your website just for this email marketing campaign. That's common practice, by the way. So for it is just a sales tool for yourself. You create a separate page which will kind of summarize everything you have to offer, all the benefits, basically on one web page. So and you just embed iGuide there. That would be a nice idea, and they will see, since they're on your website, they will know who to contact right away. So that would be better than if you just include, let's say, a link to goiguide.com. What is the app you're using for email tracking? So there are different ways, different solutions here. So the one I showed you before, one sec. So this one is called Persist IQ. It can track emails. Another one is a more popular one, I guess, is a HubSpot. So they do it for free. I'm sure there are quite a lot of solutions out there. So they integrate with Gmail. So you just install, you basically just sign up, and it will, there is a plugin for Gmail, and it will basically be done automatically. So, okay, so one sec, let me actually see what we have in the chat as well. Maybe I missed something. Okay. So seems like it doesn't seem like we have more questions right now. Yeah, so these series and upcoming webinars, upcoming masterclasses might be pretty short, because I will be going straight to the point, specifically showing what you can say, what you can do, how it works. So they might be potentially shorter than usual. And another thing I wanted to mention with you, so in terms of, mention to you, so in the future, we might potentially offer some more templates and some more ideas for subject lines, which, so we will test different, we will experiment a little bit with different subject lines, with a little bit opening paragraphs and sentences, with different pitches, and we will share them. We will share findings with you probably in a couple of months. Hopefully we'll be able to, maybe we'll have another masterclass like this one where I will be sharing with you some findings. So another thing, actually, talking about experimentation. So if you're using one of those sales tools, because there are quite a lot, if you're using a decent sales tool, it will allow you to A/B test. So you can create two different types of emails and basically test how they kind of compare to each other when you send them to different people. And you can see, let's say, you can give the same email and just change the subject line, and you can easily experiment and see which email, which subject line gives you more higher open rates. Same you can do with the, so you can basically change any parts of the email and A/B test them against each other and see which one performs better. Okay, so it seems like we don't have any more questions. I will be sending the email shortly, right after this masterclass with the samples. So thank you for sharing your emails. Oh, One sec. What do you, another question, Ken, what do you suggest if you're going after other channels beside real estate? It will be pretty much, well, it will be a similar approach. You'll still be using email campaigns, you'll still be using calls and social media. Of course, it will be a little bit different. There might be a little bit different approach. Like, for example, I can remember someone asked last webinar, what if you do, let's say, send mail by mail, something like, let's say, flyer. Well, for some industries, it might be more relevant actually than for the others. It will be pretty much similar approach, and you would definitely have different email campaign. Like, for example, here you can see I'm sharing my. I think I'm still sharing my screen. So you can see here I have different email campaigns. So and each one is customized for a different audience. So you will have the same thing. Like, it will be different different email campaigns, different emails, just kind of customized. But maybe at some point, I don't know, maybe at some point we can come up with a masterclass and show how you can sell Iguide to different industries as well. Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah, I'm glad to hear, Austin. Thank you. Thanks, Austin. Thank you, Kathy, for joining. I hope we will have more of these master classes, and they will be kind of straight to the point, specific kind of tools you can use, and maybe you can just copy paste literally what we provide and just tweak it a little bit and apply for your business. So that's what I really want to do. Like, just make it so easy that you just really just copy paste and reach out to clients. Okay, perfect. I guess we'll call it a day. Okay, Ken, where do we find the examples? So what kind of examples? In email templates, email examples? Just because if you're looking for email examples, you will find them. Yeah, okay, so you will find them pretty soon so we will email them over to you. So what I will do, so with this campaign, so it kind of set up that it will be every 2 days. I will make it fast. So I will kind of set up this campaign in such a way that you will receive the emails within the next few hours, like all of them. So don't get surprised if you kind of receive 1, 2, 3, 4 emails from me right away. They might go to spam. Just double check. Like, it shouldn't go to spam. That's the whole purpose of this campaign, that it should kind of go into your inbox. So you will receive the emails from me, and we will share these templates later as well. I think we'll need to talk to Kelly, but we probably will be sharing them right on the Iguide forum as well, for anybody who couldn't join the webinar today. Perfect. Thank you very much for joining, and we'll see you next week. Have a great rest of your day.